Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good Thursday, and hope we can make it a little bit better. Actually, we kind of started this a little bit too late. I forgot about the one-shot qualifying for sprint race.
Oh,
Um, yeah, but hello. My name is Crash McQueen. I'm of course joined by Shelly the Turtle. Why don't you say hi, Shelly, before we get right into it?
how you guys doing? How you guys doing?
Yeah. So for our first sprint race here, sprint races kind of thing. But if you're unfamiliar with how it's going to take place, there's going to be two 25% races, both one-shot qualifying. Today we're in Baku and then Austria right after, so everyone's going to have to pick up their paddock and just take a nice little flight over to Austria at the Red Bull Ring and see what they can do there. But both very important races, both full points, and we have a wet qualifying. So how much does that change things for you, Shelley?
Uh, I, Baku's so tight. Even in the dry, it's tight. In the wet, that's gonna make it 100 times worse. I'm going with like 5 to 7 people aren't gonna set a lap.
Yeah, I feel like we may see a very unusual grid, I guess, to say the least. Someone is going to find themselves up at the top, and then there's going to be some big name down at the bottom, and it's going to just be detrimental with this 25% race. So it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a very interesting one. But let's go quickly into the results of last race. Race week 1, it was back in Imola. We saw Ryan Rods with the win, Mystic Joker second, and Texas Beach third. Who's your unsung driver of the day from last week there, Shelley?
I believe it's the guy putting on the podium, Arrow. Arrow was very impressive last week in Imola with the P4.
Yeah, I can agree to that. He finished fourth. He had a very strong showing and just kind of worked his way up into a very solid finish to start his season in Division One, his career in Division One, that is. And he's gonna look to try and do that today. He's got 2 chances at it, but he also has two chances at a very hurtful night. So they're going to be swing races, these 2 sprint races, and this is only the first of 3. So I mean, I guess you can mess up on this first one, but if you do, then you need good points in the last 2. It's going to be a really tough go.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to mess up on either one of these, to be honest, especially with Baku being how it is. I feel like this might be the most important sprint race qualifying we have, just because of how hard it is here to pass in Baku.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's going to be a really tough one. I've got load up the wrong one here. But we'll check out how the Drivers' Championship sits as well. We're about to get into qualifying here, and hopefully I can get this up. But yeah, Drivers' Championship sits with Ryan Rods with the lead, and just as follows through the rest of the results from last race. But quickly before we get in, I'll switch it over to the Constructors' Championship, and why don't you talk a little bit about that, Shelley?
Yeah, I was looking at these before the race. Alpine leads the charge with 159 points. Does that surprise you? I don't think it is to me. I mean, Mystic and Jacko
Oh no.
both are at the top, followed by Merck and Red Bull tied, and then Haas and Ferrari rounding out your top 5. After that, they kind of drop off into about the 86-point range. I think that's what it said when I looked on the website. But your top 5 is pretty close there in your constructors.
Yeah, we're getting right on to it here. Who are you going to ride on board with, Shelley, and take us through the lap here in Baku?
In Baku, I think I'm going to go in with Mystic Joker, and in the fashion that he's a pretty fast guy, I have to say. Down into turn 2 in Baku. I love rhyming like Dr. Seuss on the daily.
Mm-hmm.
Second DRS straight here. There is 2. One is from turn, I guess, 16 all the way down to 1. The other one is where he just came through, down through turn 3 into turn 4. I feel like somebody might hit this wall and lose their wing in the race. Just a suspicion. But you never know. Into the hardest part of the track, I think, 5 and 6. You really have to nail this first apex and not ride this curve here. That is turn 6. If you do, you'll probably end up in the wall, and that is not beneficial to your race at all. Into turn 7, kind of winding down here in the castle section. It's very tight through here. I wonder how Mystic's going to take that. He takes a lot of the inside curb. Not sure how many people will take that inside curb and unsettles your car a little bit, and could lead to a DNF out of turn 12 through 13, 14. That's fast left-hander. In the wet, might be time to slide out in the wet. Not sure. Kind of tricky in the drive for me at least. Down 215, 216.
Quickly, we see Jacko, Matt Rosie, and Ryan Rods all very down the order. So something must have happened to them, but they're just going to keep pushing on. But yeah, finish it off there, Shelly.
Yeah, that's about it through the fast chicane there in 18 and 19 and down your second DRS straight. I think Tex is going to take pole, is what it looks like at least. Let's Mystic can pull someone out of the bag here. Now it is Tex. Oh, Bacon got ahead of Mystic.
Wow. Just barely, too. And Tex actually crushes qualifying by nearly a full 0.7 of a second. That's actually quite big. But the one-shot qualifying will bring that out. So Texas Speech has thrown in an absolute banger of a lap on the one-shot quali. And we only saw 2 drivers DNF. Everyone just kind of went on with it. And okay, so we see a little bit of different of the tire choices here. Texas Speech, like we said, coming over with pole. A massive pole, that is. A huge separation between himself and Impossible Bacon. Mystic Joker is going to be along Yolmir on the second row. Mitch Burns and Tiger NASCAR in 5th and 6th. Cake Thomas, J-Cast in 8th. Murph and Selly and Dace round out the top 10. Smith Pell and Will Ans everyone will have the option. Elma Jacko and Scavney, Matt Rosie, and Ryan Rods are the last to finish, and we had 4 DNFs actually. Edwin, Edgar, Aero Racing, and Super Ninas. So the GSR guys seemingly struggling in the rain here in the one-shot.
Yeah, kind of surprising. I thought that at least one of the GSR guys would be in the top 10, but hey, it's the sprint race weekend. Anything can happen. This has been very fast-paced. I didn't expect this.
We're right into it, man. Oh, we do. We must have the formation lap, though, I'd imagine. So,
at least it's
that was very quick. So I've got the schedule set up here, so we'll bring that up for everyone to see what is going to be the season 6 schedule, and as well as the results earlier on. Of course, that board is very empty right now, but surely it will fill up as we go on. I said surely, not Shelly. But like you can see there, I didn't. Did I? No, I didn't. Okay, I'll have to fix the tracks on the left there. But you can see the double dates mean the sprint races on the calendar.
Yeah, we have 3 of those. I'm not sure when our next one is. Crash, you have the schedule pulled up? I think you do.
Yes, I do.
Boom.
Okay, I have the full schedule here. We'll just do this one. Okay, so there you go. We go sprint race here, then we go Monaco, Spain, and then sprint race for Portugal and U.S., and we'll probably try and work into a Division 2 for that one. And then we go Belgium, Canada, and then another sprint race, and then into the final race of the season in Britain. So I'll work on the stream schedule, but we're going to try and work through a couple of divisions. We want to get down to at least Division 4, but we only have so many races we can do that in, so we'll see how we can do it. And of course, we need to stay on board with the Division 1 Drivers' Championship as much as possible, as that is the creme de la creme in the Midwest F1 League. But if you like what you're seeing, be sure to shoot a follow. If you're new to the league, go !Discord, and you will get a link into our Discord, and you can check out everything that happens in and around the league as well. Sign up yourself. So quickly as well, I should give a shout out to the sponsors. You did see EPOS when we loaded up the screen, but we cannot forget about our very first sponsor, and that is Raise Energy. If you are very much interested in Raise Energy, get that stupid intro song out.
Nice.
Okay, there we go. If you are interested in Raise Energy and you have ordered in the past, be sure to use MWF1 at checkout for 15% off your order. That's actually pretty good. 15%, Shelly? That's not too bad.
It's not 14, it's not 16, it's 15. That's a pretty good discount.
Yeah, as well as Sim Racer Coin. Go check them out and go get your cryptocurrency from there. Yes, thank you. I struggled on that one a little bit. Needed to hear the first letter, and then I got it. But yeah, Sim Racer Coin, all the drivers will be given Sim Racer Coin on championship wins and whatnot. So it's going to start going with all that to come. So a lot of good stuff coming through the Midwest F1 League.
Yeah, Crash, I don't blame you for not being able to say crypto there. It's been a very chaotic start to the stream here. We got thrown right into quali. Yeah, I guess the end of quali here in Baku.
Yeah,
No time to warm up or anything.
we were too busy worried about our sporting wordles that we forgot that we were doing a stream.
Yeah, they're entertaining. Hey, they'll catch you off guard, I'll tell you that much.
They will, but here we got the Baku City circuit up on your board there, so you can see what is to come, as well as the fastest qualifying laps and the fastest overall laps throughout the league. But yeah, a total of 20 turns. My favorite circuit, by the way, so it is good to see that it is in the calendar once again. But we're not going to get a full race, but Baku does not disappoint with how much it can produce. And as well, be sure to stay tuned after. We will be going straight to Austria. My camera is very much in the way there. Let's try and move that over there. But yeah, straight to Austria for another sprint race with a one-shot qualifying. So lots to come here, Shelley, and a lot of fun to be had tonight.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun, and maybe some heartbreak for some of these drivers. All the GSR guys are down in the bottom of the field tonight. That's not something you usually see. Maybe a surprise podium for Yolmir. He's up there in P4. He's starting pretty high up there on this one-shot quali.
Yeah, we can't really predict what's to come in. Oh, shoot, wrong button. There we go. We can't really predict what's to come in the sprint race, but Impossible Bacon, Yolmir, Mitch Burns, Tiger NASCAR, Cake, they're all in pretty good positions to start, and we got a lot of really quick guys in the back, so we'll see how this one plays out. The grid seems to be fully settled, and the red light should be coming pretty quick, and we'll get right underway with sprint race number 1 of the Season 6 Midwest F1 League. But won't you take it away, Shelley?
Oh, you want me to take it? I feel honored here, Crash.
Yeah, by all means.
1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights here in Azerbaijan. It's lights out! Away we go. Texas Beach gets a nice start over Mystic Joker, or Impossible Bacon, my apologies. That's Mystic making a move on Bacon. And the rest of the field has settled out. Oh no, there's still a battle going on here between Murphy and Cake Thomas, the new EDA Murphy. Newly married man too, newlywed. Yeah, Jake has and Will Ann's battling down here in 11th and 12th. There's a yellow flag for somebody, and that's Elman Jacko. I'm not sure what happened to him. He does not have a front wing, I think.
Yeah, at the back of the pack already, and he's going to have to pick himself up. We'll take a peek at him and see what's happening in Mystic Joker, Elma Jacko land, the other Alpine. Yes, he is completely without a wing, so that is going to be very tough for the rest of his sprint race, but he's a man who understands the point system of Midwest F1 League, and he surely will pit and get back on with it, but he's able to catch up to the pack. VSC is still out, should be ending fairly quick. You can see the tire strategy on your screen, and this will be the first time that we come through the castle section in lap number 1 here in the sprint race. Texas Beach still leads us. Mystic Joker just in behind Impossible Bacon, still holding on to 3rd. Mitch Burns jumps up a position on Elmir off the start. And Murphy Sully, the highest up with the medium compound tires, so going for a little bit of a risky start, I guess I'd say. A little bit off kiltered start to his race, and he's slowly falling back of the pack up ahead. Tiger NASCAR still holding that position of 6th and looking quite menacing in behind Yolmir as we come up into the longest straight in Formula 1, where lots of speed and lots of positions can be gained and switched, and Tiger NASCAR is looking at Yolmir and trying to get, and he's got the slipstream going here, and he might be able to get a move into turn 1. Murphy Stelly gets overtaken by Cake Thomas, and there we go. Tiger NASCAR down the inside line to turn 1. Yolmir with a lovely little attempt at a defender on the outside, and looks like he's done enough and holds on to 5th place there, Shelley.
Yeah, I was on board here with Ryan Ross. Got very aggressive there for 2, trying to get past JCast. It seems like JCast has gapped the rest of the field, top 11, by about 2 seconds here. And Ryan Rods is on his tail, trying to get past. He might go for a move here. Actually hit the wall. Not sure if he gets wing damage. That'd be unfortunate if he did. Edgar made a move on Scavney, too, in that little scuffle.
Looks like he's got his man fully intact. Edwin as well pits with Elma Jacko, so those two are going to be way back in the pack.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Not really a lot of time to make up, or not a lot of laps to make up time here in the 25% race, but hoping for a safety car down there. I guess that's the only way that you can look at it.
Yeah, I'm looking at Murphy here. He needs to try and hold as much position as he can with these mediums. They are going to benefit him later on into the race when the tire change happens. Don't even think about going to the hards in this race. I don't even think if it's... Is it even mandatory to pit on the 25%?
I'm not sure. I think you'd have to make at least one stop, but hey, I've never commentated the 20% race, so I cannot tell you.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, it's a good question. We'll see how it plays out. I'm sure that will be answered later on into this race. Texas Speech and Mystic Joker have broken themselves away from Impossible Bacon. DRS is open now, and Mystic Joker is closely following Texas Speech, so we've got to keep an eye on the next DRS straight.
Yeah, looks like Mystic is too far back to make a move here. Mitch Burns might be able to make into 3 on Bacon. How daring he will be. Oh, around the outside. This is going to be... Oh, he's gone way too deep. Yeah, Bacon's going to defend that position with ease.
Yeah. Looks like the GSR guys are struggling with connection. But that's brought Yolmir right back into the pack here. And Tiger NASCAR closely follows. Impossible Bacon just holding up quite a few drivers. Dace hounding Murphy, and he's actually going to go down the inside line and ends up having to cut the turn. Murphy-Selly's got the inside going up into Castle section, so Dace is going to have to back out, and Murph is able to hold back onto 8th place. Like I said just a lap before, these early positions are very important for Murphy-Selly being on those mediums, but he has lost DRS to the pack up ahead, and I don't think he's going to be able to catch it by the next DRS straight.
Yeah, Dace had to back out there knowing that 2 cars don't fit into the Castle section, or they might, but not all in one for sure.
Yeah. But I see a move in his future. We're coming to the final slalom here, and he's gotten a really good run out of it. He might even overtake Murphy before the DRS straight. And how much DRS is Murphy using? He seems to be deploying as much as he can, but we have a move for the lead. Mystic Joker goes through into first place ahead of Texas Speech. Now might be Texas Speech's turn as we exit turn 2 into the second DRS section here. We're into the straight, and Texas Speech is into the slipstream with DRS and ERS deployed. He's going to offer the inside line. Mystic Joker is going to be under pressure here. Tex has the front wing up ahead, and Mystic Joker is forced to give way, and Tex is able to get back first place. Impossible Bacon as well getting overtaken by Mitch Burns, and that will change the third step in the podium position.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw it. Cake got punted out. Hopefully he can get back in here in time. He doesn't lose too much time with Dace hot on his heels. Let me see if I can get him an invite. Oh, that's good.
Cake, yeah, Cake is actually Cake bot.
Yeah, that's not great for everybody behind Cake.
No.
Foreman.
Especially in an area on track where it's really tough to pass as well.
Yeah,
I is going to send it here. No, it doesn't look like he will.
Oh my God.
Ends up punting the back of Cake. Oh, that's not what you want to see. Dace is going to be forced into the pit early. Oh, and Smith Pell nearly overshoots down into the into 12, I think that is. 16.
Yeah, 16. There you go. I knew that didn't sound right.
No.
That's unfortunate for Dace. That is for sure. That's what happened.
Tex actually is into the pit and going for a major undercut on Mystic Joker here. Cakebot is going to stay out, and Dace comes into the pit. Now we're starting to see quite a bit of pit stops here. Early on, a lot of the drivers are getting rid of these softs. And
yeah, works out in favor there with Tex pitting. Maybe he's still in the fight here for the points. Not sure though.
Yeah, but Murph and Sally has seemingly been caught and overtaken by a secondary pack there, and he really needs these mediums to wake up because these softs seem to have some life in them. Smith Pell is just able to edge past Cakebot, and Will Ans is now going to look at trying to go down the inside line. Goes over the curb, but Cake gets a really good exit out, and J-Cast nearly spins it. Scavney's able to get back up ahead of him. We have 3 abreast. Cake's caught in the middle, and a lot of bumping and grinding there, and oh my God, 4 cars now. Murphy is able to just squeeze out. Scavney gets through. Will Ans is absolutely swearing up a storm, I could imagine. And now he's going to have to try and battle Cakebot into Castle section and is able to get through. Wow, that was some really sketchy racing.
Yeah, that is something I think these D1 guys usually do. Cake's AI is definitely becoming a menace to everybody involved, including Tex, who's trying to go on the inside. I'm not sure how this is going to fare. Looks like he gets around him nicely in 15.
He's able to squeak
Hopefully
through
Cake.
him. But just an important thought here. Whoa, his arrow shoots down the inside of Cake. Wow. Everyone's just going for crazy aggressive overtakes past this bot. But this undercut that Tex's speech went on might not be the best strategy because he got caught in a lot of traffic.
Yeah, he did get caught in a lot of traffic, but here I think Mystic's still going to beat him out the pits. But I'll just wait and see how that turns out.
If Mystic Joker can come out ahead of Murph and Sully, which it looks like he has, then he's got 3 cars in between him and the guy that was next closest to him. And we got to take a peek down at Ryan Rod, still down in 16th and hasn't made up much ground. He's going to get a little bit of help with all these pit stops here, but that is not what you want to see after your Season 1 opening win.
Yeah, that is definitely not what you want to see. Unfortunate for Arrow, down there in P15 right now. Hopefully he can... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on a different train of thought right now. Oh, yeah, Brian Rods is down there in P13. Not looking good for anybody that was on the podium last week besides Mystic Joker.
Well, Tex should have second almost locked up here with all the cars ahead of him other than Mystic needing to pit, but his chance at a win here seemingly has completely slipped away. A very important penalty from Matt Rosa picking up the 3-second. Only man on track with a penalty in this race.
Yeah, I didn't even think about penalties. They're going to be massive in this race. They're going to... I mean, the field's going to be... not really have a chance to break away from each other. I figure there's going to be about 2 or 3 packs in this race, and that'll definitely come back to bite them.
We'll see how long he's going to keep these mediums going. There's still only 5 laps deep. We saw a lot of drivers pit after lap 3 and 4. He's got another 3 or 4 laps left, but he gets overtaken by Mitch Burns. And Mitch is right
in Tex.
DRS.
Yeah, Tex making a move on Murph and Sally down into 1. Murph's still on those mediums that he started on. I think mandatory, as most of the field has pit now, so Murph will have to make a pit stop.
Yes, the girlfriend of Mr. Joker, Mother Ellie, did say that in chat. It was once not mandatory.
Yeah, thank you, Mother Ellie. We respect Joker.
Appreciate the on the ground, the on the field reporter.
Background reporter, Mr. Ellie. Let's go. It works.
She can hear all the swears and the blood, sweat, and tears of Mr. Joker when things go right or wrong.
Yeah, maybe we'll slide her some money on the side so we can get a clip of that and throw it in the stream.
We don't get paid, so she's not getting paid.
She'll get paid with Sim Racer Corn sponsor Midwest F1.
Yeah, oh, there you go. Hey, yeah, well done.
Thank you.
Ooh, Tex break
like
super deep. Wow, did you see that?
Yeah, I was on board looking for a close battle on track, and looks like Tex on these new tires definitely has a pace advantage over most of the field here. It hasn't pit. I guess that's just Scavney and Cake at this point, or Scavney and Murph at this point. My bad. But that gap to Mystic now is at like 5 seconds. He was within DRS there with him, so as you said earlier, I think the race win is gone here for Tex.
Yeah, he's got about 5 seconds that he's going to have to close to Mr. Joker with only 5 laps to go. Ryan Rods has worked himself up into 10th, and he is slowly closing that gap to Dace, but Dace is a very tough competitor, so we'll see how that works out. Impossible and Smith Pell seem to be going wheel to wheel through turn 1 here, and Smith Pell is able to edge out the inside line. And that Husky Chocolate McLaren ends up having 7th place coming around turn 2, and it doesn't look like Impossible's got a good enough run out of turn 2 to be able to warrant any sort of overtake or battle into turn 3, and Smith Pell should be able to hold on to 7th fairly cleanly up until the next DRS straight.
Yeah, somebody else that's holding on. Will Ans right now in 12th, holding 12th away from Super Ninas. Thought that they would be able to make a move down to 1, but too far back and too far back into 3, so that battle will continue at least a couple more corners.
So we got a final position on the podium battle here with Mitch Burns, Yolmir, and Tiger NASCAR. Mitch Burns leads it right now, currently in 4th, but he will jump up into 3rd once Scavney pits. Yolmir is just in behind with 1 lap older mediums, and Tiger NASCAR with fresh mediums is right behind him as well. Mitch Burns has done a good job here of breaking open that gap as we get real close to the DRS zone. And Yolmir seems to be struggling a little bit here. I wonder if he caught a little bit of damage somewhere.
Yeah, not sure. I'll take a look at his car as he comes through 17 right now. Doesn't look to be missing an end plate, but maybe some damage that we can't see.
But Tiger NASCAR can sense the struggle, and he's going to be able to get a fairly easy overtake. And this DRS is going to help him as well close that gap to Mitch Burns and get himself back within huge DRS range. And wow, he gained a massive amount of time there, just catching the slipstream and getting a huge DRS tow down into turn 1. And now that gap is within a half a second, and Tiger NASCAR can smell his first podium in Division 1 as well. Mitch Burns is trying to get his first podium in Division 1 too, being newly promoted from Division 2. And here we go, Tiger NASCAR up the inside line, and Mitch Burns going to try and break super deep, but Tiger NASCAR goes very sharp around turn 3 and holds on to 3rd place, and he is up on the final step of the podium, and Mitch Burns' turn to chase now.
Yeah, Mitch has about 12% of ERS versus Tiger's 35% ERS, so Mitch has definitely burned a lot more trying to keep up the pace here on those new mediums. Or I guess halfway old mediums. I'm not sure what you call that crash. It's a sprint race. Everything's thrown out of the water that you normally know and love.
Yeah, the
hopefully,
tire wear is a little different on length and everything. Like, we saw people pitting off the softs after lap 4. Like, that's bonkers.
Yeah, bonkers is the word there. Not sure what thinking going into this race, but it's definitely whirlwind up here in the booth to watch.
Oh, and a virtual safety car. Not a full safety car, so that won't change things too much. Super Ninas, I think, got himself into a little bit of trouble. Quickly lost a couple of spots there. Not sure if he has much. He might not even have a wing there. Yeah, he is completely wingless and 4 laps to go. He's got Jacko behind at 8.5 seconds, and I think it's just more. Yeah, I think he should just pit, cut his losses, and then just maybe try and take fastest lap and accept the points. But yeah, an unfortunate time to lose the lead in this race.
Yeah, but the great thing about the sprint race here, pick it up and move on to Austria. Still some good points to be had tonight if you did poorly in Baku.
Yes, very true, very true. As Shelly Turtle just said, be sure not to go anywhere, because right after this race ends, we got our second 25% sprint race to come soon after as well. Tristan, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Thank you for following the Midwest F1. We very much appreciate
it. Yeah, Ryan Rod's only a 9th. That kind of surprises me. All right, I mean, him being a 9th surprised me in general. He didn't even qualify in the top 10. I think Mystic's going to take the driver's lead after this race at least, but who knows what's going to happen in Austria.
Yeah, that rainy qualifying definitely changed things up a lot, and you can see the qualifying really coming into play here. A lot of drivers have been picking up positions, but overall, obviously better qualifying has put you in a far better spot at the end. Aero Racing has done a very solid job and gone from 19th to 10th in this race. So not too bad, picking up some pretty good points, and he's going to be able to get himself hardest charger as it stands right now. But he's got Ryan Ross kind of contesting him, but Ryan Ross needs to pick up a couple of positions. We've got a nice little 4-man DRS train with Ryan Rods in the back, actually, so he can get a potential 6th place here if things go his way.
Yeah, 6th place would be better than 9th right now for Ryan Rods, especially in that Drivers' Championship fight. That's the fun thing about these sprint weekends. Everything goes. Everything's thrown out of the water. You don't know what's going to happen. And your reigning champ down there at 9th, that's something that I don't think anybody would have put money on before this race.
Oh, but it looks like it's Impossible Bacon's turn to get back Smith Pell. He goes down through turn 1, but now Smith Pell is a lot closer this time than Impossible Bacon was a couple of laps ago. And now Impossible Bacon is going to be in some trouble here, and he's trying to weave to break the toe. And Smith Pell is slowly closing that gap, and he takes a peek at the inside line of turn 3, but nothing is available and goes deep through turn 4. Or sorry, through turn 3 as well. This is turn 4.
Yeah, everything's running together. Me and you can coordinate wrong. It's like we're over in and it's almost over. It's lap 11 of 13. Where's the time gone?
Yeah, it's gone by so quickly. You expect them to run a little bit longer, and it even feels like it's gone quicker than it would be halfway done at 50% race, to be honest.
It's just, everything's just so much quicker. Maybe shot quality, because we didn't get to talk for 18 minutes about Ryan Ross defending his championship. That's
yeah,
that's
a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, things are flying through here. Anyone new to the stream, 2 sprint races worth full points each. Because of the shortened season. It is initially only a 9-week season, but because of the sprint races, it's technically a 12-race season. So these sprint races are massive swing weeks, so you really can't do bad throughout the entire day. You need at least one to go your way, or else you can find yourself way down the order.
Yeah, Crash, I don't know if it's just coincidence, but me and you have been ramming words, like not provoked to do it. It's awesome.
Oh, what did I do there?
Crash, I have no idea. I have lost myself here.
Brain's
I'm too involved.
Man, it's Thursday. We're almost there.
Yeah.
But Yolmer looking for some solid spots here, and he's up into 4th, up ahead of Mitch Burns. Mitch, of course, at one point was settled on 3rd place for the podium position, but Tiger NASCAR has done quite the job, actually. So hats off to Tiger NASCAR. Up into 3rd place, and it doesn't look like he's going to be giving that one up. Showing some really solid pace and actually breaking away from Yolmer and Mitch Burns, who were only a couple laps ago, just right with him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Mitch Burns with the pace, but he was just kind of falling out of that podium contention. Unless Tiger NASCAR and Yole have a massive moment and have to pit, or even DNF, I think 5th place is kind of walked for him.
Oh, we have a bot battle here. The 2 GSR guys, Edgar and Edwin, going wheel around turn 1. And now we'll see if Edwin's going to be able to get back at Edgar. Mystic Joker is finishing up the final couple of turns, and he's looking like he's going to come over the line with the race win. A very comfortable one at that. And he's up into the long straight, down to the podium. He goes down to the win, actually, sorry. And he's going to come across the line for the race win. Mystic Joker takes the first Midwest F1 sprint race. Oh, what? No, we have one more lap. We have one more lap. Oh my god, why did you stop me?
Crash, I'm new up here. I don't know what my privileges are.
Oh my god.
Dude, if you DNF,
that's funny. I don't think I've ever actually done that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's first time for everything is through turn 3. Yole's battling with Tiger NASCAR for that final podium place on the last lap. Crash.
That's how off I am with these sprint races, man. Like, it's completely thrown oh my god. Just an absolute massive wrench in my cogs. Like, yeah, a question mark OG Doomslayer. Yeah, you're right. My whole brain's a question mark right now, man. But yeah, did you just tune in, OG?
Close to battle on track right now. It's still Mitch Burns and Yole. Yeah. I have Mystic coming through 14 down through 15. If you can keep it safe and nice and straight through there, he'll be your Midwest F1 inaugural sprint race winner in Baku.
Yeah, let's try this one again. We got a yellow flag in Sector 1 there. It looks like that Super Ninas caught out. May have been a little bit of a tussle with Cake Thomas. But here we go. Mr. Joker now coming around the final turn as that lap went by pretty quick. And there we go. That's a little bit more of a proper Selly coming over the line here for the first sprint race win in Midwest F1 history, that being Thursdays. Texas Beach with a solid drive coming over second. Did have pole up over Mystic Joker, but Mystic Joker's sheer pace took over and major hats off, tip of the cap to Tiger NASCAR, coming over the line with his first podium and a race to the finish with Yolmir and Mitch Burns, and Mitch Burns is just able to edge him out. Dace gets sixth, and I believe there was the same thing there with Impossible Bacon. We might have the same thing here with Scavney. Is Scavney going to be able to get ahead? No, Ryan Rods is just able to get eighth back, and Matt Rosie should be safe from his teammate in behind with that penalty, coming 12th, and his teammate 13th. J-Cass in 14th. Jacko in a struggled 16th. Or 15th, sorry. Super Ninas has DNF'd here, but he will get points in 20th place, finishing 90% of the race. Jacko, and then Smith, Pell, and Cake, Edgar, and Edwin to follow. I'm not sure if Bod Edwin, no, he won't even get the chance.
Yeah, I think that means that Mystic Joker, Text to Speech, Dace, I believe they all overtake Ryan Rods in the Drivers' Championship after that race.
Yeah, fair enough. Good shout. And there you go. You see the Alpine man, the newly Alpine man, in his first race win in the Alpine colors. Of course, was representing Alfa Romeo for a couple seasons alongside his brother Sui, who is now down in Division 2. And he's going to try and once again carry his team to another Constructors Championship this season. But he's got, with all due respect to Sui, a far more established driver in Elma Jacko as his teammate, although things did not go Jacko's way this race. But why don't you take us through the final finishing order there, Shelley?
Yeah, finally finishing order. Mystic coming home with your race win here in Baku, but stay tuned. Austria's next. Texas Beach P2 and Tiger NASCAR rounding out your podium. Then Mitch Burns, Yole, Dace, Bacon, Ryan Rods, Scavney, and Arrow round out your top 10. Rest of the order is Will, Matt Rosie, Murph and Sally, Jay Cast, Majako, Smith Pell, Cake Thomas, the man who left and was Cake Bot, then Edgar, Edwin, and Ninas rounding out your order. Are we getting Mystic in for interviews, or are we just flying into Austria?
I think we're just going to go right into Austria. We'll 100% bring him in after Austria. We'll see how the podiums go. We're trying to go with 4 total. It depends on the podiums. But we do remember that the podium this race was Mystic, Text, and Tiger NASCAR. Now, honestly, with all due respect to Tiger or to Text, I'd like to hear from Tiger NASCAR in his first podium. So right now he'll be the man in the other interview position over top Texas Speech. So Text needs to have another good race for him to warrant his interview after. But with all due respect,
I think Tiger's a lock for the interview.
That's only because we've heard from Text before, and we'll probably hear from Text again, and we may not hear from Tiger NASCAR, and it'll be the first time hearing from Tiger NASCAR as well. So we'd like to have that happen. We'd like to hear. It's too bad we can't hear him right after this race, because things are going to be flying in and out. We got another one-shot qualifying, and then right into it.
Yeah, Crash, this has spun my head completely upside down of what I normally do for commentary. This has been one hell of a journey, and I'm still excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one, man. Might have time for 5. We may have time for 5, yes.
5? Oh, boy. That's going to be a lot of questions. Oh.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of questions to be asked. There's going to be a lot of brain power that's needed to be asked as well for us to remember that first race in Baku. Because we still got Austria to go. So, and Austria is always a fun race, too.
Yeah, definitely not generic questions being asked for me tonight. I definitely have everything written down from what happened in Baku.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'm not that smart. Well, I think I'm that smart and just try and hold it all in the old noodle, but yeah, no.
That works for me here.
Rarely works out for me.
Bobby?
I don't know. We may be, or I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I have no idea because I don't think Cake raced 90% of that race.
Yeah, no. Still got points though.
Hey, still got points. Midwest F1. Join the league. Great.
Yes. All right. If you're new to the stream, be sure to shoot us a follow. We very much appreciate it. As well, go and support our sponsors, Raise, Epos, and SimRacer Coin. Check them all out in the descriptions. Into the !! sponsors, and they will pop up for you. I need to revamp the Twitch channel, man. I've been I've been lacking. A lot of crazy stuff has been going on outside the Midwest F1 League. It hasn't left me much time to do all the little stuff that is needed to keep this stream as A plus quality as it is. Especially when
Crash, what do you mean? It's still A plus quality.
I know it is still A plus quality, but there's always another plus that can be added, right?
Yeah. Hey, anything's possible. It's 2022. Or as J.R. Smith say, anything is possible. Reference to Hennessy for all you basketball fans out there.
Although if we do A plus plus, we might be. No, I'm not gonna say that joke. That's a bad joke.
Yep, scratch that one off your bingo card. We're not doing that one tonight.
Yeah, that's probably not a good joke. Let's just.
Yeah, I referenced
It would have been
J.R.
a
Smith.
good joke, but it wouldn't have been a good joke.
Oh gosh. Oh, looks like we're getting a new lobby. All right.
Yeah, we've yet to receive invites though. We're kind of getting shunned here.
Yeah. Cake is. Yeah, I'll have to post on his Instagram. We hate the Midwest commentators, and we'll fire back with whatever we can say on broadcast because we.
So, what do you think's gonna happen with these NHL games tonight? Boston takes the first one, so they've tied it. They're going to Game 7 in Carolina. Home team has won every game that series. Edmonton needs to stave off elimination in L.A. Minnesota and St. Louis has been an absolutely hard-fought series every game. Now it's a chance for St. Louis to close it out against division rival Minnesota Wild. And we're looking like Tampa Bay is going to go into overtime. So what says you about some of these games to happen?
Crash, with a massive hockey fan I am. I have zero knowledge of hockey, but I believe the Maple Leafs are going to pull off an upset victory here.
That's not what you want to hear.
I mean, hey, Toronto. You gotta stick with the goat of hockey. I think that's what they are.
No, they're not. They suck. It is awesome that they suck because you don't understand what it's like watching Sports Center in Canada. It's TSN. It's not ESPN. TSN is like an outlet of ESPN or whatever in Canada, and it's nicknamed the Toronto Sports Network because that is all they freaking talk about is Toronto teams. So anytime anything in Toronto happens, we hear about it, and it is really old, and it's just nice to hear them talking about when the Leafs are knocked out of the playoffs in the first round, like every year.
Oh, who are you rooting for then, Crash?
Well, I'm an Oilers fan. If you can see.
Oh, yeah, Edmonton guy.
Yeah. I'm not even Edmonton. I'm an Oilers fan. I've always been an Oilers fan since I was a kid, so I was stuck with them throughout all of their 4 first overall draft picks in 5 years they had. Yeah, okay.
Hey, fair. I mean, you have Connor McDavid, and you can keep holding on to that.
Now, I will even admit I think that draft lottery was rigged. I will even admit it is way too fishy that we got Connor McDavid over Buffalo. It was too set up where Jack Eichel, as well as potential at the time franchise center, and he still has that potential, but he's just had a little. He's been good, but he hasn't got his team to the playoffs good. To go to a small market town in Buffalo, and it was set up for that, and it was just set up for McDavid to go to the Oilers. But McDavid, the Oilers had like the 5th best chance to get first overall, and they ended up getting it. So it seems a little fishy to me.
A little fishy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of fish, what's your favorite type of fish, Crash?
Oh man, there's an Austin's Fish and Chips. And it's just like a local fish and chips restaurant chain. There's only like 4 of them, 3 of them, something like that. And there's one in my city/town, and oh my god, is it so good! A nice wild cod. Oh, just like their batter is just so freaking like. It's hard to convince my friends not to go there sometimes when we're hanging out. It's like, oh, what do you want to get for food? And it's like Austin's like, okay, come on, we can't go to Austin again. But we could. It's so good, man. But I always love salmon. Salmon and lemon is just really nice. That's all you need. Salmon, lemon, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of rosemary on top. It just cooks in nicely and makes the salmon flavor pop. It's very delicious. A little salt and pepper before you throw it in. Very easy, very delicious. But you gotta watch out for those bones at times. What about you? What's your go-to fish?
Go-to fish? I used to get a nice cod at a local, or not local. I think they're a nationwide chain here in the U.S. Max and Hermes, but that closed. So there's not really like a local fish place I can go to. The best fish I've ever had actually was at a Pirates game. They had red snapper, but it was like spicy. It was like jerk. It was called jerk snapper. It was really good actually. And
that was actually my nickname in high school.
can I ask how you got that, Crash?
That's my favorite joke. Jerk snapper. That's a pretty good. That's a good team name for something. Or
yeah, I mean, hey,
or a band name.
Hey, if you're still doing your MLB franchise, maybe do a rebrand of the Yankees and call them the Jerk Snappers.
The Jerk Snappers.
That might be my new Diamond Dynasty team name, the Jerk Snappers.
Yeah, punk rock band. Hello everyone, thanks for coming in. We are the Jerk Snappers.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
There's the hair going too. But yeah, it looks like this lobby is getting reset here. We're getting a new lobby for the final race to come in Austria. As you can see, Mr. Joker did take the win. Texas Beach second, and Tiger NASCAR with a surprising podium. If you had Tiger NASCAR podium on your bingo, then you had quite a long shot there. But you are probably sitting pretty well for a bingo if that is the case. Do you like those bingo scratchies?
Dude, they're a pain to do. Are you talking about the ones you get scratched on like every and it's like really interesting?
Yeah, it seems like there's just like there's just too much to do sometimes. Like you're just scratching forever, and usually it's just to get nothing.
Do you have the scan and go scratch QR code and tells you if it won or?
Yeah, so yeah, whenever you're handing it in, you have to make sure you scan the barcode so that they can scratch it and scan it.
Yeah, and I think that's a little takes the fun out of it.
Yeah,
and
I know.
To see if you won.
Yeah, because Mr. Beast did like a video where he spent like $100,000 on scratchies, and that's all they did was just like scratch the code and scan, scratch the code, scan, scratch the code, scan.
Yeah, it takes the fun out of it. It takes the fun. You gotta scratch off everything. You gotta have that number 2 in the final square, and there's a 2, but it's a 12, and then you get screwed. Yeah. So, yeah.
Or like, I've got two $50,000s. Oh, I've got a $550. Oh, I've got another $5. I've got another $500,000. Oh my God, come on. I know. It's just now I've come to the point where I'm so done with like putting myself through that suspense for scratchies that I'll just blow through them. Like I just do one straight nickel right across where the numbers are. See it, another one right across. I don't slow scratch anymore.
What's your choice of I don't know, change? Choice of coin?
Well, that's it's a toonie. It's the biggest. It's got good girth behind it. You can get a solid hold onto it and really drive into the scratchy.
Yeah, kind of like Tiger Woods driving a golf ball off the tee. Mm-hmm. I have to say, my favorite's got to be a nickel. It's not too big, it's not too small, but it gets in there.
Do they have little scratchy shovels or whatever they are? Little scratchy plastic pieces there?
No.
Oh, they've got them here.
You got to send that to me, dude. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Canada's down bad.
That's awesome.
Oh man, but I used to get those gold rush scratchies all the time when I was a kid. Do you know those? Did you have those?
I think gold rush.
They're just I don't straight gold.
Maybe. I remember on St. Patty's Day. Here's a fun story for you. There was like 4. It's like 4 clovers. I think that's what it was called. I won 7 times on 7 different tickets on St. Patty's Day when I was like 8.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Definitely didn't spend all the money back in the scratch offs and got no profit that day. But it was a fun adventure going to like 3 different gas stations because I don't want to keep going back in and give them my tickets.
Yeah, I feel like. I mean, smart move to keep moving because you know, like like the casino tricks where people sit and watch sit and watch slot machines and watch people like losing money, and as soon as they lose their money and leave, they jump on it and they win, just because that's what it's just what it's designed to pay out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many times do you think you can go into a gas station without it being like awkward? Like 2? I think 2's the max for my end.
I don't know. The gas station people in my town are pretty cool. The local 7-Eleven, they've watched me growing up. Like one time I went in and they're like, they've seen me like stumble in or whatever. Like when I was like 17 years old or whatever, with my buddies getting all the hot dogs and crap that we could hold in our hands, as well as robbing half the store. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't do that. And I went in a little while ago. I haven't gone in a while. And then the lady's like, "Oh, you've gotten so old. You're a lot bigger now. Very big." I'm like, "Wow, thanks, lady. Appreciate that one." Yeah.
Is that an accent crash?
Yeah, it was. There's a
yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh. Speaking of accent, this whole week might have been an accident with Cake Thomas's internet. Crash, we might need you to go service Cake Thomas's house and get that all fixed up.
I'll see what I can do. I'm an installer. I'm not a service technician.
I forgot. Installer.
I don't service stuff. At least when they send me to service stuff, I'm not good at it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's play a fun game here. All right. Over under. We get a lobby before 10:30.
Well, seeing how it's 7:30 where I am at right now, I'm gonna take the under.
Okay. Emphasis on the 30. No. Calm down with the first two numbers. They don't mean anything. They don't mean it.
Oh, okay.
That's 6 minutes.
Well, I think it's looking pretty good here. We're just missing 2 drivers now.
I'm not in the lobby.
Oh.
No. Good.
Well.
Yeah, but I suck. Yeah, don't even talk about me. I mean, hey.
All right. Well, I guess I'll invite you.
Oh, here comes like 5 invites. Yeah, I saw Scavity's invite. Yeah, here's Matt Rose. Here comes Midwest F1 week. That's gonna pop on my screen here in about 2 seconds.
No, I didn't even invite you. I was just lying.
Oh, Crash! Can't do that to me. Can't tease me.
Who are we missing? We're missing an AlphaTauri, and we're missing. Oh, we got the McLaren, so we're just missing an AlphaTauri.
Is that Mystic hosting?
Yeah, that's a rig.
Mystic wins the race and starts hosting. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, that's rigged. I wonder how the other divisions are going.
I think miserable too. I think it's something with Cody's tonight. I'll have to take a poll and see how people like the Midwest Sprint. How do you like it so far, Crash?
I don't mind it. If unfortunately we are having a little bit of lobby issues here, but if we weren't, I think it would have been pretty good. I think it's a good mix up. It's a good way to add a couple of races to the season. It keeps things interesting, very interesting as well. And there's a couple of drivers that are really, really annoyed with how their first race went, and just know that they need to put in a good foot forward here to try and gain that momentum back and get some solid points for the day overall.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too fast paced for my liking. I think I like the traditional 50 percenters. But hey, I'm open to trying new things. Add up my taste buds for trying new foods.
It is 2022.
It is 2022. Anything's possible.
Gay sex doesn't make you gay.
Yeah, of course.
It's true.
If you close your eyes, anything's possible.
Well, you got to dive in completely, because how are you supposed to know if you don't like it?
I mean, yeah, true.
You can't pussyfoot it. When people take a bite out of a burger or something, they don't, or take a bite out of a food that they've never had before. You need to take a good bite, because if you take a little bite, that's not enough. You need to take a nice solid bite.
Yeah, as the wise Chief Keef once said, that's the shit I don't like. Thank you, Chief Keef, for sponsoring Midwest.
But you can't argue that gay sex doesn't make you gay. It's simple mathematics.
Yeah, very true. Crash, do you know who Chief Keef is? Are you a big fan?
Yes,
Chief
I
Keef?
do. Yeah, yeah. He was big when I was in high school.
Speaking of big, Austria's coming up here. Hopefully it's dry versus wet.
See, that's
That would,
funny, Mother Ellie. When I've being in the long relationship that I have been in, going to parties and whatnot, and there just happens to be whatever other girls there. It's fun. I actually tell them I'm gay. It's pretty amusing, to be honest. And then spending the night convincing them that I'm gay, because people, they don't believe it out of the gate. And how could you? Like, I mean, look at me, right? So it's fun convincing them throughout the night that I am gay, and is really it brings entertainment to my night. That's for sure. Tell Mystic that you should try it whenever he goes to a party, and for whatever reason you're not there. It does keep the night entertaining, especially when your friends are looking at you and they're shaking their head like, "What the hell are you doing, man?" It's like, hey, who cares? Like, whatever.
Mozzarella will have to pay you a large sim racer coin. Sponsor Midwest F1 to not be there at that party with Mystic.
Yeah, I'll be at that party with Mystic.
Uh,
I'll okay him.
Oh gosh.
All right, we're about to get into the lobby here. One-shot qualifying is to come, as like before, and then we are right into the race. So thank you for staying tuned. Sounds good to me. Thank you for staying tuned throughout the shenanigans that what was in the wait of the second sprint race of tonight. Austria, of course, is an absolute banger of a race, and it is about to come up pretty quick here. We're just waiting for everyone to get their setups all ready to go, and then this time it is a dry qualifying, and not a lot of areas on track where you can invalid, but there are a couple of areas. Hey there, Shelley?
Austria, turn 1, turn 9 and 10, both very high places that you can invalidate your lap times. I think we'll see at low 103 as pole, but we will have to see what comes out. Again, one shot. I don't know how risky these guys want to be.
One opportunity.
Seize your moment. Capture it. Don't let it slip. Don't let it slip. Don't let it slip.
No. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. We're about to get into it here. We're a couple of seconds away, and then qualifying will be underway. Thank you, everyone, once again, for staying tuned with us here as we come into Austria. We'll get on board with Will Ans. I feel like Will Ans might be a good shout here, and he's going to enter into turn 1 and not invalid. Doesn't seem like we lost a lot of drivers. Texas Beach is stuck in the back of the pack in 20th right now. Mystic Joker leading the way, and Tiger NASCAR once again up there. So Tiger's looking to have a good couple of starts here. But we're going to come into turn 3, and it's all dependent on this exit here. You can enter in as quick as you want, but you need traction on the way out. And Jacko moves himself up into 3rd place. Will Ans now up into 7th. Matt Rosie into 8th. Texas Beach still all the way down into 20th. Must have really struggled coming out of turn 1, and now with every turn you see the positions changing all over the place, but who gets the better run out? Still Jacko in 3rd, but still Mystic in 1st, and Ryan Rods has worked his way back up into 2nd there. Will Ans now just slowly increasing his time up that grid, but he's back down into 7th, and Dace takes a huge jump into 3rd. Matt Rosie now up into 3rd. Matt Rosie has had a really good sector 2, and Aero Racing Design is the first man out of qualifying here, and now we get into the very dangerous invalid area. But it looks like everyone is fairly clean, and Mystic Joker looking to come over the line with pole, and does so 4/10 ahead of Ryan Rods. And we'll go through the rest of the grid there, but it looked like Matt Rosie did end up coming over the line in 4th or 3rd.
Everybody was changing, but one person that didn't change at the top, Mystic Joker, takes pole here in Austria, followed by Ryan Rods in 2nd, and Matt Rosie rounding out your provisional podium. Will Ans in 4th. Mitch Burns at 5th, Jacko, Aiken, Murph, Cake, and Scavney rounding your top 10. Then Yole and J-Cast, Smith Pell, Edwin, Ninas, the Super Ninas, Edgar, Tiger NASCAR, Dace, Text, and Arrow round out your order.
We actually had more disqualifications and DNFs than Baku, which is somewhat surprising. But it must have been Yeah, we had only 4 in Baku. We have 6 here. So that must have been from all the invalidations.
Not sure what the difference was. I think it definitely had to have been the invalidations because Baku's a much harder.
Oh, bye-bye, Shelley, as he drops from the call. But I think I'm going to finish his thought here. He's going to say Baku is definitely a more difficult circuit than Austria. But I'm going to argue myself and say, well, hey, Crash, there's a lot more areas to properly invalid on track than there is in Baku. A lot of more turns call for it than there at Baku. So that could probably be your argument on why we had more in Austria than we did at Baku. And thinking about that adds up quite nicely and brings us to 6 DNFs in Austria and only 1 in Baku. We're waiting for Shelley to get back in here. Just the absolute out of nowhere disconnect there, which was kind of funny. But we are waiting for the players to get all settled, and there you go. Our countdown timer starts, and we are about to work our way into sprint race number 2 here in race week number 2 in the Midwest F1 Season 6 Showdown. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. This is so easy to get penalties to. Yes, it is very easy. Mother Ella, do you ever play F1 on Mystic's wheel? I feel like I asked you that before. Does he allow you? He's back. Because you know how guys can be very protective of their things.
Protective! Woohoo! I'm back.
Yeah. Oh, what? He doesn't let you play on his wheel? That's a joke.
Brother Ellie, you need to punch Mystic in the face. I said it.
Yeah, right between the eyes.
Or between the other eyes, whichever one you prefer.
Stop myself again.
Yeah, Crash, this is a PG stream. No need to get those interesting comments out of there.
Yes, you should ask Mother Ellie. Definitely. I bet you he'll love it too.
I don't know what that's in reference to, but I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
No to domestic violence. Fair enough.
Jeez.
But all in good fun. She said that. But all in good fun. You can just drill Mystic. Say it was from me. That's not domestic.
Crash, you know what tool is similar to a drill? A hammer. You know what you could do with a hammer? Hammer down the Sim Racer coin. Sponsor Midwest F1. Definitely going up in price.
Drills are not similar to a hammer. Really. They're in the ballpark. It's a very big ballpark.
Yeah, ballpark's about
like
500 foot center.
Like O.Co Coliseum. But
no, you didn't just say that. Crash now.
I'll give him a kiss from you in the closet. Okay, fair enough. Hey, that's okay. Yeah, I'm blushing now. I'm blushing. Oh God. Okay, the grid is setting up here, and there we go. Sprint race number 2 is to come. Thank you everyone for sticking this out, and it will sure be a good one. 18 laps here make up Austria. Matt Rosie finds himself up into 3rd. Will Ans end up getting 4th in the end. Ryan Rods and Mystic Joker. Mystic Joker now our championship leader after that second race there, after our first race there, 2nd of the season. But we are getting our 5 red lights, and they go out now. Oh, not too bad. But here we go, Mystic Joker with a pretty good launch out of the start, and we got Mitch Burns coming right around the outside here on Will Ans, but Will Ans looks like he's going to hold that with Mitch Burns going deep. Actually, Ryan Rod's going very deep off track, and he's going to be right up onto the back of Mystic Joker coming into turn 3. And he's going to try and go for the outside move. Mystic Joker goes to defend the inside line, and he's going to push him up onto the curb. Doesn't quite Verstappen him, and Ryan Rods is able to get a really good run out of turn 3 as we enter down into turn 4. And Mystic Joker's got the inside line once again lined up, and he's going to force Ryan Rods to go very deep around the outside. But Ryan does a really good job, and he's able to get the move nearly done. But Mystic Joker's not going to give way. He's going to get those elbows out and try and fight this one through. Now it's Mystic's turn to try and go around the outside, but Ryan Rods is just able to squeeze that position through as Dace picks up a position on Edwin, and Tiger NASCAR picks up a position on Smith Pell. How is Tiger NASCAR all the way down there? Did he DNF?
You know what? I did not see that. There's a yellow flag out. That's missed. Oh, wow, that's like 3 drivers. Oh my gosh. Arrow is on the wall. He is out of the race. I saw, I think Tex spun. Smith Pell spun. I think something happened in the back of the field there. I didn't catch that. I was too amazed that at the side-by-side action of Ryan Rods and Mystic.
Yeah, same. It was very good battling between the two there, and Ryan Rods is just able to edge out the position, and he's reminding Mystic Joker that he's not going anywhere here, and that race in Baku was just a one-off. And from this point on, he's going to have a nice contender for his attempted third championship in a row, or third championship total. And Ryan Rods can look to try and win this second championship for him and get himself tied with Mystic Joker in overall championships in Division 1 in Midwest 1 history. So that is quite the storyline to keep track of.
Yeah, storylines are great in person and in the virtual world. Mystic's been dominant, and Ryan Rods, I hate to say this, I'm sorry, Div 1, but he's been Mystic's first real competitor here. He's definitely taken the fight to Mystic, and Mystic's had to adjust accordingly.
Mystic gets a slightly better run out of the VSC, and now Ryan Rods is just able to hold on, and we enter and exit the final turn of lap 2, and these laps are going to absolutely fly past us here. We're going to be on lap 10 in no time. Already on lap 3, and Mystic Joker is trying to hunt down Ryan Rods, but Ryan Rods looks pretty fierce here so far.
Yeah, Matt Rosie and P3 there too. I'm not sure if these guys only practiced for one race, but Matt was not involved at Baku whatsoever, and he's on the mediums keeping up with Mystic right now. So very interesting there from Matt Rosie. Go down the field. Newlywed, he's within striking distance of Bacon. I'll have to see how that develops over the next couple of laps.
Yeah, very tight battling between that midfield pack. Jacko's just on the edge of losing DRS to Will Ans, and Jacko's trying to get himself a nice race result here after struggling in Baku as well. So you can see a lot more urgency from those guys who did not have the best first race and are now trying to put their best foot forward here in the Sprint Race 2 to try and gain back as much points as possible. But I don't think we're going to have Mystic Joker and Ryan Rods separated in this race at all.
Yeah, definitely interested to see how the pit strategies work. I'm assuming Ryan Rods will go in and Mystic will follow him. Not like Tex trying to undercut anybody last race. I don't think we're going to see that strategy come back because that did not work out for Tex.
So very impressive by Matt Rosie, able to stay with this group here. And we have another car out. That's this time GSR Edwin, and that is just terrible news for him. And a full safety car will be deployed here. So the full field is going to bunch up, and I think the drivers starting on the medium tire compound are not going to be happy because this safety car isn't going to really help them out at all.
Yeah, it looks like Edwin clipped a little bit of turn 1 and on the throttle too quick. Ended up on the inside barrier. Anyone that has pit, like Tiger or Tex, they're going to want to pit again, put on fresh tires, trying to squeeze every ounce of life you can out of those. I think softs can do a good 15 around here. So you might see some guys try and throw in a set of softs and take them to the end. But not sure. Again, we're in a Midwest sprint, and anything's possible. Anything's possible. Shout out J.R. Smith.
Shout out Kevin Garnett.
Anything. Get it right. Anything. Like Hennessy. Anything's possible. J.R. Smith. Anything's possible. You gotta make sure you pronounce it like anything so people don't catch on. Things happen for a reason. Shout out Aristotle.
But here we go. Everyone's coming out of the pit. Texas speech. He's going to be able to get himself back up into the pack, but he'll just be behind everyone. Edgar opts to stay out on these softs, and Mystic Joker is still behind Ryan Rods, but they've got Edgar up ahead of him, so we'll see how much of a wrench he throws into the battle there. Matt Rosie now is on the soft tire compound behind Mystic and Ryan Rods, and virtually everyone pitted here other than the man up at top, GSR Edgar. So taking a quite bold strategy, he is.
Yeah, I think Edgar was kind of screwed here. Didn't pit, and he's going to have to pit under green flag running, presumably. Another person that didn't pit, Texas Speech, staying on those mediums, but I believe he pit off of softs, so he should be able to make it to the end. That's about it as we line up for the safety car restart. Not sure if we're going this lap or next lap.
No, it seems like we're going to be going next lap. The game is quite coded from what I've noticed to if everyone is caught up into the pack by sector 3, then the safety car comes in. But we had a couple of stragglers there, and Smith, Pell, and Texas Beach that weren't with the pack quite yet. So 100% the safety car will come in this lap.
Yeah, Crash, I'm getting a little thirsty up here in the broadcast booth. Is there any drinks that maybe you have that I could have?
I mean, I would love to give you a Raise Energy, but unfortunately I can't. It's really tough to order them to Canada, but we do the best we can to get them here. But if you are able to have one, I would suggest one, as they are very good and they are zero sugar, zero crash.
Yeah, zero crash. Is that?
I am not in it.
Is crash is not an ingredient? Is there a discount code for Raise Energy?
Oh, well, of course there is. Use code MWF1 at checkout and get 15% off your order for your favorite energy drink, Raise Energy.
Yeah, shout out my used car man skills. Definitely keeping them alive tonight.
I went to a used car lot with my girlfriend, and we were looking at a Mitsubishi Lancer. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's done a lot of Coquihalla driving, which is a mountainous highway in between Vancouver and Kelowna, another city in British Columbia. It runs great, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, there's just a slight little dent, or there's a slight hole in the left bumper. And the hole is like the size of both of my fists combined. I'm like, what are you talking about, a slight hole? This thing's massive. Like, he's like, yeah, we might be able to talk it down. Like, yeah, get a new bumper and then maybe. But no.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Something that's not awesome. I think Edgar's gonna get eaten alive here. A couple of laps, because he does have to pit, but he's gonna lead us away here. The Haas still swerving.
Oh, someone's already lost a wing. It looks like that might have been a Red Bull. No, there's no Red Bull in that pack. Maybe the AlphaTauri of Mitch Burns might be without a right plate or front right plate there, and Edgar is already right on the back of, or sorry, Ryan Rods is already right on the back of Edgar, and Matt Rosie is hounding Mystic Joker, and he's got the soft tire advantage here. He's going to go deep. Mystic Joker's going to fight him hard, and he's going to be able to get and hold on to the position there. But we have a lot of other moves going throughout the field. Cake Thomas looks like he's got past Tiger NASCAR, and I can't quite see, it might be Tiger NASCAR without the right end plate, and yes it is, so he is struggling and losing a lot of positions.
That's unfortunate, but hey, at least he has a podium tonight. He can hold on to that for the rest of his life.
Oh no, and it looks like he made contact with Dace, and Dace got put into the gravel, and Tiger NASCAR is all the way in the back of the pack, just ahead of Dace, who, like I said, was just involved in that contact. He has picked himself back up and he is going onward. But Edgar still holding on to first place there, Shelley.
Yeah, Crash, he's got a pit, and I don't know when he's going to pit, but it's definitely not going to help him out, as his GSR teammate, I assume, is going to fly past him here. Mystic's going to want to get past Edgar as soon as he can to not get behind, or stuck behind this lap traffic, some may say.
Ooh, Mystic does attempt the dive down, but now he's opened himself up for a little bit of Matt Rosie action. But he's just able to hold on. Murphy as well holding very close to this pack up front. But now Ryan Rods has broken himself away. No, he hasn't. Edgar still staying quite close on those softs. 7 laps old they are. Scabney and Mitch Burns seem to be swapping positions. We get on board with that one. And they are wheel-to-wheel exiting turn 4. Through turn 5 they come. And Scabney looks like he's got the inside line set up. But Mitch Burns is not going to give way. He's going to still try and go around the outside. But Scabney's just able to edge him out, having the shorter way around the track.
Yeah, definitely some nice racing going on. And as you said, Crash, these laps fly by. Already lap 8, coming on lap 9 here. Already halfway through this race.
Yeah, and Edgar slowly losing the grip to Ryan Rods here, and he's going to be under some real pressure. Edgar does get DRS, but Mystic has a major slipstream on him here. And Mystic doesn't look like he's going to be able to overtake him, and maybe setting him up for turn 4, because he did not use any ERS, but he goes very deep through turn 3. Quite uncharacteristic from Mystic there, and now Edgar is going to be able to hold on to second place, and Ryan Rods is nearly a full second away from Edgar as well, so Mystic needs to get a move on and try and get this overtake done as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think that shows that tire wear is just so interesting here in the sprint races, as there's another yellow flag I think Tex has lost it. Smith Powell also lost it there in turn 1 last lap. Or Tiger NASCAR, my apologies. But these softs, I told you, can go about 12 to 15 laps, and I don't think Edgar is going to see a drop-off in the next 2 or so. So Mystic's really got to throw in everything he's got to get into that DRS of Ryan Rhodes.
He does have the aid now of DRS and no DRS to Edgar, so he really needs to get this move done as soon as possible, because Ryan Rhodes is slowly leaving Edgar and Mystic behind. But here we go, full DRS deployment from Mystic, not using any ERS, doesn't want to waste it with the overtake, and will cleanly get through. And now it's Matt Rosie's turn to try and clear Edgar. Matt needed to try and pick up the position on Mystic Joker a couple of laps ago, but now he's slowly falling away, and these mediums may be taking the advantage. Ooh, Murphy tries to go down the inside line of Impossible Bacon, wheel-to-wheel racing here, and Impossible's not to give way, and Impossible now has the inside line going around turn 6, and he's going to be able to slip back through and get that position.
Yeah, that newlywed power definitely aiding in that attempt of an overtake. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. But happy the marriage worked out. Congrats, Zoe.
And Edgar's going to come into the pit now, and Matt Rose is going to be cleared and try and close that gap to Mystic. He will not get DRS, and he was over a second back of Mystic, and Mystic just set the fastest lap this race. Just teetering on the edge of DRS is Mystic. He's got to try and close that to Ryan Rhodes.
Crash, what do you think about that restart from Edgar? It seemed he went very, very late. I feel like that might have caught a lot of these guys off guard.
No, for sure. He raced really hard, and now he's all the way down in 15th place. So yeah, definitely. He was just racing up in the top for just a little bit, and it seemed meaningless, really, other than the fact that Mystic Joker is just on the outside of DRS, and he needs some sort of minor mistake from Ryan Rhodes to get himself back within DRS range.
Conspiracy theories?
Ooh.
GSR? Ooh.
Oh, Yulmir spun around turn 5. He's into the gravel trap, and he flips himself in a really awkward area. But he's able to get out of the way and goes right across track and is avoiding the cars coming through. Matt Rosie now setting fastest lap here.
Yeah, Yellow was definitely not taking the racing line there. Almost, I thought he was going to make Edgar crash out there, but happy to see that everybody's clean-handed in that incident. The glove does not fit.
Cake Thomas goes down the inside line of Will Ans here through turn 3, and he gets the position up into 7th place. He goes, but will he be able to hold it? As now Mr. Ans has the DRS, and now he's going to go around the outside here, entering turn 4, and Cake Thomas isn't going to give way. He's going to squeak that car down the inside line, but Will Ans looks like he's got the better exit, but no, Cake Thomas gets some really good throttle down, and now they're very hard wheel-to-wheel, and Cake does a very nice job going around the outside and getting and holding back on that position. And while that was all happening, don't look now, but Mr. Joker's back within DRS range with a decent amount of laps to work with.
Yeah, the Mist did get back in that DRS of Ryan Rhodes, and that's definitely a big aid in this championship fight. Again, full points on both these races, so Ryan Rhodes trying to make the best of tonight.
Yeah, I was just on board with Scavney, and he got an absolutely amazing sling out of turn 10, and he just launched past Will Ans, as Will also had DRS too. I don't know if he has any sort of damage there. Now Scavney is looking absolutely menacing, as he's going to pick up another position. Back-to-back DRS straights. He gets 2 spots up into 7th place now, pushes Cake and Will back a position.
Yeah, good job there, Scavney. Mr. Reliable, as some may call him.
Yeah.
Looking to make a championship fight this season.
The Toyota Corolla of an F1 racer.
Yeah, that's about right. Oh, that's awesome. Speaking of awesome, anything is possible. Shout out J.R. Smith. Mystic closing that gap down about half a tenth now. Do you think it's going to make a move on this first DRS straight crash, or do you think it's going to wait until the run up to turn 3?
Well, I'm looking at DRS deployment here, and Ryan Rhodes does have the slight advantage, but we know how quickly that can dissipate. It may aid him for one DRS straight, but it won't that I imagine that it will even out, especially because Mystic Joker isn't really using up much on his straights, and that ERS deployment battery has really creeped very close in difference between the two drivers now.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out in the rest of this race. Tiger NASCAR picking up a 3-second penalty down there in P18. Shout out Tiger for his first podium tonight, but not having the best race here in Austria.
No, not at all. He's really struggling here, but yeah, he can hang his hat on that first race for sure. And points are points, so he's still got to try and fight this one out as much as he can.
Speaking of points, I'd like to point out it's already lap 15 after they cross 9 and 10 here. This Midwest F1 sprint race has gone by super quickly as Matt Rosie has joined into this battle here for the lead.
Yeah, Matt Rosie, can't count him out quite yet. He is on some older softs, but we'll see how much that changes things later on. Once again, Mystic still not deploying DRS, and that ERS deployment is very tight, and Matt Rosie is actually going to try and edge out the outside line here, looking at P2, and he's going for a really good launch out of the final turn, and we have a drag race between him and Mystic. And now Mystic, maybe with the lack of ERS deployment, has actually put himself under fire, and he's lost a position. Matt Rosie now up into second place. Now he's going to try and hunt down Ryan Rods. But how much wear do these softs have left for Matt?
I think these softs are about to fall off here in the next lap or so. Yeah, about 2 laps will be the max I think you can get out of them. And I'm not sure what Mystic's doing saving his ERS at this point. He really needs to get a move on, get back into P2.
I mean, it could have worked. It would have really enabled him later on, but now by doing so, it's really put him in a tough spot because Matt Rosie has edged himself through, and now he needs to overtake 2 cars for this win here. Matt Rosie going right off, and Matt Rosie's going to be under a lot of pressure here. Mystic Joker can smell it, and now he's used the ERS, and he should be able to get past Matt. But Matt's going to try and defend the inside line, but Mystic forces Matt to go right in behind Ryan Rods, and now once again we're going to have a drag out of turn 3 and nearly a little bit of contact between the two drivers. We're coming down into turn 4, and now Ryan Rods is going to be under pressure as well, but no, he'll have the full car length ahead, and Ryan cuts off Matt Rosie coming through the turn, and Mystic is trying to send it around the outside of turn 4 as we enter into turn 5 here. Once again, Mystic still down the inside line of Matt Rosie, and he's going to get that position back.
Murph has spun and almost caused a massive pileup there out of 4. Happily, everything's okay, but unfortunate for the newlywed down there in P12 now.
But now Ryan Rods has a lot more ERS to deploy than Mystic Joker. Another safety car there. Actually, it's still Murph and Sally picking himself up in sector 2/3 now, and a big 3-second penalty from Ryan Rods.
Yeah, that's massive here. This year doesn't get penalties, so I think he's just going to try and keep it as clean as he can and finish out the race.
Now he's going to go for the attempt of overtake here on Ryan Rods to try and separate the gap between him and Matt Rosie, which would be huge to try and hold on to the win. Because if he's able to squeeze through Ryan Rods here, then Matt Rosie's got to overtake a car to try and come at him. But Ryan Rods is not giving way. Even with that 3-second time penalty, he's able to fight hard and get first place back. And now Mystic Joker and Matt Rosie are even on ERS to deploy, and we're about to get on to the final lap here, and things are still very much in the air. Matt Rosie just needs to overtake Mystic Joker to get this race win.
Yeah, most definitely. Mystic definitely needs to pull out all the stops, maybe put down the banana peel in Mario Kart and try and disrupt Matt Rosie from getting past him and ruin his chance at getting the race win here in Austria.
So Ryan Rod is looking like he is going to be safe to at least get third place this race. Jacko and Impossible Bacon are just on the outside looking in. 2 seconds separates that total gap. Matt Rosie just too far back to try and go down the inside line of Mystic, but now Mystic gets blocked off from Ryan Rods in the exit of turn 3, and now Matt Rosie is probably going to be his last chance, and he might go for a big lunge here, but I think he's a little bit too far back with the slipstream aid from Ryan Rods on Mystic. But Ryan Rods and Mystic are still battling it out here as we come through turn 5, and Ryan Rods still has that car ahead And Matt Rosie looking to be Johnny on the spot here. Maybe slip up the inside line, but Mystic Joker is able to block it out and understands where the true win is. And Matt Rosie's getting very loose on the back end there. But he's going to be able to come over the line here in second place in the end. Ryan Rods will be able to get third. Mystic Joker will do the double with back-to-back wins. And a very impressive sprint race from him.
Yeah, very impressive there for Mystic Joker back-to-back tonight. Almost counts as 2 weeks. Oh, wait, it does count as 2 weeks. So that's very important in the championship fight. As he is about a race lead on Ryan Rods now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, major points and a lot of tight battles coming over the line there. Quite a few drivers just separated within a half a second. But all these penalties are the last little bit of drivers. I'm not sure how much they're going to come into play. Actually, Dace and Supernias might be tight because... Dace has a 3-second time penalty, so that won't really do much there. Looks like we're just going to get the order to finish as it stands. And that will be it for the sprint race. Well, actually, Dace does jump up ahead of Yolmir.
That's like Dace. Well, and what an eventful night, Crash. From talking about fish places to Mystic Joker winning races.
Yeah, very true, very true. But here, I think we can do a 5-man. Do that Mystic at Ryan at Tiger at Text. So yeah, Mystic doing the double. Quite impressive. But won't you take us through our final finishing order there, Shelly?
Oh, Crash, I'd be delighted to. Mystic Joker, second win of the night, wins the Austrian Grand Prix and wins the first Midwest F1 sprint overall. Matt Rosie coming home in second, and Ryan Rods running out your podium there in P3 with that 3-second time penalty. P4 with Jacko, P5 Bacon, 6 Gavney, 7 Thomas, 8 Will Ant, 9 J-Cast, 10 Mitch Burns. So that's your top 10. Here's your top 20, or your 11 through 20. My apologies. Text to Speech, Edgar, Smithpell, Dace, Joel, Super Nunez, Newlywed, Burfin Sally, Tiger NASCAR, Edwin, and the DNA Aero Racing Design in P20. Yeah, but what a race here tonight. This has been one hell of a broadcast, I may say, Crash.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It was quite the race overall, or races overall. But yeah, we're gonna end up getting 4 in for the interviews. Unfortunately, Ryan Rods is unable to make it tonight.
I would have liked to get his take on the gap between him and Mystic going into the next race. But hey, that's a question I get to ask Mystic, so it works.
Yes, we'll be able to hear from Mystic Text, Tiger NASCAR, and Matt Rosie.
Yeah, don't steal my questions, Crash.
I'm really good at
it. I'm scratching the bottom of the barrel here. The brain's gone, but we're still here. I'm working that overtime shift for Midwest F1.
Okay, we are just waiting for our drivers to get in for the interviews, and we can hear what they have to say about what just happened in these 2 sprints, as well as if they enjoyed them or not. So that'll be quite I'd like to hear the takes that they have.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what some of these top guys think of the sprint race weekend. Definitely chaotic coming here in the booth, but a good kind of chaotic. Puts us up for the nice challenge, and I think we smashed her out of the park, Crash. I think we did a good job tonight.
Yeah, man, I agree. I think we, even with even with how poor we were still A plus.
Yeah, A plus. We don't need to worry about the defense. That might have been an F minus, but hey, the offense was killing there, left, right, and center.
Oh, 100%. A good offense is a good defense.
Yeah. Offense wins championships, definitely.
Yeah, defense is overrated.
Ever heard of Lawrence Taylor? Barry Sanders. Better.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
Excitement.
Oh. We
Mystic
had everyone.
left.
The Mystic Joker left.
Yeah, trying to be a jokester out here. Oh.
As per usual, if there's any questions from chat, be sure to put it in, and we'll be sure to ask our drivers. Does gay sex make you gay? I know who I'm going to ask that to.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a great question to ask.
We're just
Let's see,
waiting
what
on the
happened?
man himself, Mystic, and then we will get underway.
Sir Ellie, please go into the sim racing room and absolutely force him to get on the call. That'd be much appreciated from me and Crash.
Sorry, what was that?
I told Mother Ellie to go in the old sim racer room in the old house and force Mystic to join us.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. All right. Looks like everyone is in. We'll drag them in and see what they have to say. All right. Hello, everyone. Mystic Joker, Mike Text.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, you're good. Matt Rosie.
Hello, is mine working?
Yeah, you're good. Tiger NASCAR. Mike, test. Tiger NASCAR.
T Sizzle, mic test.
Sorry?
The T Sizzle. Gotta make a nickname.
He's muted himself. Text to speech.
Hello.
Yeah, you're good. Tiger? Tiger, you want to try your mic again? Can't hear you. Tiger, is your mic working? Tiger, hello?
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Me?
Okay. Tiger, is it working in here? Tiger NASCAR?
Hello.
Okay, it's working. Okay, you're good now. All right. We will get into the interviews. We will go in order of Mystic Joker, Texas Speech, Matt Rose, and then Tiger NASCAR, just so you are prepared. But, yeah, a double race win night for you, Mystic. I mean, not too shabby. Those are some solid points, man. Well done.
Yeah, pretty happy with that actually. Very, very surprised, to be honest, especially that second race. Definitely hard fought. I mean, both races were hard fought. I mean, Tex got screwed over a bit with, pitting a lap sooner around Baku, which then, just kind of made it pretty easy for the most part. But then, that was not the story around Austria, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Austria was definitely a different story. But, yeah, the unfortunate timing of Tex's pit stop really made things easy for you in the second half of that race. But why don't you talk us through the wet qualifying in Baku?
Oh man. So notice that the Delta was saying that it was a little bit quicker on the inters, which I was like, okay. And then going into turn one, I was like, oh no, I made a horrible mistake. This is not it. But yeah, I managed to kind of put together some bit of a decent lap, I guess. But yeah, that was interesting. Definitely interesting. Made it all the more tense. I mean, one shot quali is already intense enough. So you add the wet weather like that. Oh man.
Oh, yeah. As soon as I saw the rain coming down, I knew it was going to be an intense one. But
Yeah.
before I take Shelly the Turtle's question, go ahead, Shelly.
Yeah, congrats on both race wins tonight, Mystic. My question that Crash loves to steal: how does it feel? I believe you have a race lead over Ryan Rod's. What's your mindset now going into the next week?
Oh man, just same mindset that I've been having. Just take each race as its own thing, and just focus on that specific that week. I mean, sure, there's a bigger picture to that we're all like playing for, but at the end of the day, you can't get caught up on all that. You got to just take it race by race, and that's how those results come in. So yeah, I mean, it was good. I guess championship wise for my title run, that I think he got P8 in the first race, so that was definitely a huge hit. Um, but obviously, he fought really hard in the second race, so yeah. But just one race at a time.
Yeah, well, congrats on both wins tonight. I'll kick it back to Crash.
So Mystic, does gay sex make you gay?
That's uh no.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah. I'm not gonna dive any deeper into that, but yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, so what was your take? Obviously, you're really happy with the sprint race, and now actually going through it. How was it for the intensity wise of both races, knowing so many points were on the line through the night?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean, leading up to this, it was just like, every week, it's like, okay, yeah, obviously you don't want to DNF, you want to avoid, any mistakes, blah blah blah. But like this week, it mattered just times like 10, even more, just because of how short the season is, and just how much points, like you said, are at stake here. So I mean, sure, the race wins are great and all, but honestly, I was just hoping to consistently get like some podiums, get some good points, and yeah, but that ended up getting a little bit better than what I thought, to be honest. Just because these sprint races, I mean, it's crazy. Like everyone's just going at it, especially around Austria. I already knew Austria was going to be a tough one. That track is so difficult to break away, and once you get in that DRS train, oh man, it's rough.
Yeah. So speaking of that, with Edgar coming in and then you having to close that gap on Ryan rods, how intense was that for you?
Oh, whew. Yeah, there was. I don't remember which specific point, but I tried making a move on him, but I couldn't make it stick. And I think it was turn three. I think it was. I tried going around the outside, but just couldn't make it stick. And so I ended up getting stuck behind him for like another lap or so. And at this point, I was like, oh man, here we go. Like, Ryan's going to just open up this crazy gap. But thankfully, that didn't happen. But yeah, that was pretty crucial. I was like, oh man, I really need to get past him, especially because I had Matt breathing down my neck
Mm-hmm.
as well. So that was super intense. Trying to keep him behind while he had those fresh softs. But I knew that those softs were gonna start going away towards the end. So as long as I could like keep him behind, or stay with him and have him pull me along until they kind of flip around on him, then that's when I can kind of pounce.
Yeah, for
Especially at
sure.
the end too, because like I battled a little bit at the end with Ryan, and I was like, all right, like let's make this a little fun. But then I was like, you know what? Oh man, Matt's so close that like if I make the tiniest mistake and Matt is able to get by me, that's it. Like he
Mm-hmm.
gets the race win. So I was like, all right, let me just slot in behind Ryan and just make sure I finish ahead of Matt.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Matt almost got you there at the end. I'd like to hear what he has to say about that. But that was a very hard battle in the
He
last
probably
race.
hates me right now.
But even without Ryan Rod, still it would at least been a 1-2 day for you. So a 1-1 is as good as it can come. So very well done, Mystic.
Yeah, thanks guys, and congrats to the rest of the podium as well.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for tuning in or coming in once again, Mystic. Always appreciate and always happy to hear your input. But here we go. On to Texas speech. Second place in Baku. And yeah, you got caught in the crowd there after the pit stop. What made you want to pit a lap earlier than Mystic? Was that your strategy from the beginning?
To be honest, I don't know. It was just kind of impulsiveness.
Mm.
Thought it might have been a good idea, but we had no basing, and it looked like I was going to come out in a really good place. It looked like, I had a bit of a gap to the gaggle ahead of me, and then Cake left. So it was just a wall of cars that I couldn't get past. And from that point, there's just no catching up to Mystic, unfortunately. I kept as much pace as I could, and I think I kept the same gap, but it just wasn't there. So I just, really disappointed. I feel like, the first pole I've ever had in D1 is more wasted potential for me.
Yeah, we'll get on to that actually. So that was quite the qualifying lap they put there in one shot. Like, did you just put it all on the line there? Like, you were either going to go pole or you're going to be in the wall?
I actually made a massive mistake. I oversteered so much in Sector 2. I thought I was going to be at least bottom 10, but I guess I just stuck it out in the first and third sector enough. I'm really proud of myself for sticking that, but again, just wish it could have gone better in the actual race.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but still a solid podium there in Baku. Your race in Austria didn't quite go the same, but still decent points throughout the sprint overall, so you got to be happy. I'd imagine you're going to be in the top half of total points throughout the two races. But actually, no, I'll kick it over to Shelly before I take his question by accident.
Yeah, Crash, you gotta stop doing that. This gotta be a two-way street.
Yeah.
Since Crash covered most of Baku, I covered most of Austria. How much did that safety car help you there? Because I saw you spun turn one a few laps into the race. How did your mindset change once the safety car came out and you knew that you could get some better points out of it?
I don't remember spinning turn one. I remember Smith spinning turn one. I
confused this during the broadcast. I said your name, but it was Tiger. That's I'm 0 for 2 with you on the in the interview booth. But yeah, how did the safety car change your race in Austria?
To be honest, after the VSC, I had already made my pit stop. I was slightly catching those ahead. I would have preferred if there wasn't a safety car, so everyone else wouldn't have gotten a free pit stop. But at the end of the day, I did catch up to the pack, and everyone did pit. So it was just, race start all over again, level pegging field, and I was able to march through a little better. Midway through, I did disconnect, so I'm lucky that I was still able to reconnect and bridge that gap enough to recover top 10. But yeah, I was definitely not the qualifying I would have wanted. Invalidated turn one. Pretty much the worst you can get there. But, still got hard charger, still moved up 9 places. So, I mean, not terrible, not the best thing I could have done, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think I'm right about this. I think you're P2 in the driver's standings now, behind Mystic. What's your mentality going into the next race? Kind of what I asked Mystic about Ryan Rods, but do you think that you can overcome the reigning, or not reigning champ, but the 2-time champ here in Division 1?
The 2-time.
Well, honestly, I know my parents are taking me on quite a bit of vacations over the summer, so I'm just looking to secure some points so I don't fall too far behind in relegation. I mean, to be honest, I should be clear of relegation after, missing a couple, which is going to be inevitable, but I think I should remain at least in the top 10, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully you're not missing one of the sprint race weekends. That would be detrimental.
Yeah, that would not be good. We'll see, though.
All right, hey, I'm just here asking questions. But that's all I got for you. Congrats on the P2 and the top 10 here tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Always good to hear from you, Tex. I'm sure we'll hear from you at least once more before you get on your vacation. So best of luck up until then. But we'll get on to Matt Rosie here with a second place finish in the second sprint race in Austria. Things did not go your way in Baku. Why don't you start with your struggles there, and then we'll get on to your heroic effort in Austria.
We can just skip Baku. I don't even know
No.
happened. We did Austria, didn't we?
No.
So remember how Mystic said he went on an enters and they didn't feel great?
Yeah. Did you go
Yeah,
on
so
softs?
No, not quite that dumb, but no, I went on enters on the what's it called, qualifying lap, and my wing only lasted half of the lap.
Mm.
So I don't even know where I started, 17th or 18th or something. And then second corner, I got hit. Someone hit me from behind into Jacko, and I lost my wing. But I stayed out on the mediums for a while, and then I managed to regain a couple of places once I pit for the sauce with the wing. That was actually functioning properly, but yeah, it was tough.
So before I kick you over to Shelly here, Game 7 is going to be between Tampa and Toronto. Who you got?
Dude, I just saw the score. I'm gonna pick Tampa.
Yeah.
When's the last time Elisa won a Game 7?
Yeah, it's got to be Tampa.
Maybe 1967, exactly.
Yeah.
Not hockey, but good Grizz in 7.
What
I
was
think I think you said Grizzlies in 7.
Oh,
I did.
all right.
Vancouver Grizzlies?
Yeah, you're talking about Vancouver. Okay, Shelly, take it away. Take it away.
I'll take it away like I'm fishing. Speaking of fish, Matt Rosie, what's your favorite fish? We were talking about this during the stream.
Oh man, like favorite, like to have as a pet, or favorite to eat?
Hey, both. Take both.
I mean, goldfish look kind of cuddly, but they're not really. Tried to cuddle my goldfish when I was younger and it died. So I had a Siamese fighting fish as a pet. That was pretty cool. I would get another one.
Yeah.
Fish to eat though?
Did you ever fry up the Siamese?
I didn't. I probably should have when it died and just flushed it. And my dad did. I was too young.
Yeah.
Favorite to eat though? Man, like a really good, well-cooked salmon, well-seasoned salmon is delicious. I also really like a good, really good swordfish.
Whoa.
Or monkfish. Monkfish is also really good.
Whoa! That's a crazy answer. Kind of like your raisin bag, or a little bit crazy.
Yeah, I'm a man of culture.
Yeah, I said nice salmon with some lemon, rosemary, and salt and pepper. That's all you
I'm
need.
not a rosemary guy
Red
myself.
snapper would.
That's all you need on a salmon. Okay. Are you done, Shelly?
I mean, yeah, Crash, you pretty much covered everything. The only thing you didn't cover was the fish, and I got to ask about fish, so I'm always happy.
Okay, well, we'll quickly finish off with your thoughts on Austria there, Matt. You had a solid bounce back there, and you almost had first place. But what was going through your mind when you initially got that overtake on Mystic?
Well, I was pretty upset because I got stuck behind Edgar when he was going to the pits, which pulled me out of Mystic's DRS. I would have passed him a lap earlier, which would have helped a lot because my tires were starting to go at that, but not at that point, but things were starting to even out on the tires. So if I passed him a lap earlier, I think I could. I mean, I don't know if I would have gotten it. I would not have gotten a DRS, but I would have maybe been able to hold on to a little bit more because I had a lot more DRS than he did. But yeah, once I passed him, I thought maybe there was a chance, but I knew he'd have a good chance of re-overtaking me with my tire situation. And then obviously he did, and I knew kind of from there it was done because my tires were just starting to go. And then at least came in second though. It sucks for Ryan. He drove a really good race. The penalties. I'm usually the one on the side of the penalties, so it's nice to be on the other side for once.
Yeah, true enough. But I mean, overall, what was your take on the sprint race as a whole? Races.
I loved it. We should do it more often.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, although we should have less of a break in between.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That was a lot of issues. That kind of iced everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Well done, Matt. Good to hear from you again. Best of luck in the future races, and hopefully we can get you again in an interview when we're back in Division 1.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. And for everyone out there, if you haven't tried monkfish, I highly recommend it.
I'll take your word. Tuna as well. Tuna's really
Shout
good.
out, Monk.
Shout out, Monk.
Yeah.
Shout out, Ahi Tuna.
Yeah, there you go. But okay, on to last but not least, Tiger NASCAR. First time in for a podium. We're really excited to hear from you, Tiger. Very well done in Baku. Did you at all predict yourself to be on a podium here in Division 1?
Not this early, at least. I thought maybe with a little bit of luck, a lot of luck, that it could be possible, but not at Baku at least.
Yeah, but you looked like you really had Baku down when you flew past, I believe it was Impossible Bacon and Mitch Burns there, and you just kind of broke away from them, or you just seemed dialed in.
I think they were fighting each other and they were using all their overtakes, so I kind of got lucky with that. I just stocked up on my overtake, and when I kind of picked them off one by one, and I had all the overtake in the world, so...
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you made it. You used it as good as you could. But I know I'm still gonna give you credit though. Even after you got past them with that long straight in Baku, there they could have had a pretty good chance of closing that gap. But you just broke away like it was nothing. So you got to give yourself some props there, man. That was really well done in racing.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. But I'll kick it over to Shelly before I steal everything.
I mean, hey, I think, Tiger, do you want to talk about Austria at all? Do you have any interest?
I prefer not to. But
That's cool with me. I'll ask you a fun question. What's like a good amount of times to go into a gas station, like repeatedly? I said it was 2. I said 2 times was like enough where it isn't weird. I feel like anything more than 2 might be a little bit odd. But what's your take on that?
I think 3 is probably a good one. 2 is maybe forgotten something, so it's
Yeah.
3 you can get away with that. You can say, "Oh, I forgot another thing." So anything after that, it's kind of weird after that. So
Yeah,
I'd say 3.
that's a good point.
Yeah. Speaking of another point, I want to talk about at the cashier section. What's your favorite type of chewing gum?
That's a good one. I'm gonna go with like flavor or brand.
Flavor and brand, because I feel like that's what makes you remember it is the flavor and the brand. So you try different flavors from the same brand.
I'm gonna go with Trident and Mint. I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure what the brand is, but I like Mint the best.
Yeah, solid choice.
I always think that mint chocolate chip ice cream is super underrated.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's pretty good.
It's so good. But
Yeah, Mint's a classic. Just saying, it's pretty good.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, enough chewing from my mouth. I'll kick it back over to Crash. Congrats on the first time up here on the top step here in Division 1. I'll probably talk to you again very soon. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Tiger. But what was your take on the overall of the sprint race week?
I think definitely different, and I think it changes everyone's mindset knowing that having a bad first race isn't that bad of a situation, because you can make it up in the second race, and vice versa, like my situation tonight. So
Yes.
definitely a lot different.
So how much of a vibe killer was it for you, though? I guess to get the other end of the spectrum there, where you come off such a high, like I said there on after the first race, and then going into the second one, and then just things just seem not to go your way. What was that like?
Oh, and then after the first safety car, I actually thought it was going great because I timed in the VSC perfectly, because when they were all in the DNF, I timed it perfectly so I could come into the pit and put on mediums. If there wasn't a safety car, I could basically I'd be a little bit ahead of everyone because I was on that pre-pit stop already. And then safety car, I got up to 7th. That was a good time for me. And then when they went, I guess, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but they all I thought they were going, and then they stopped. And I got wind damage after that, so that
Told
was
you, Craig.
unfortunate.
What'd you say, Shelly? Say it with your
And I
chest.
told you. I told you some people wouldn't like Edgar's restart, Crash.
Yeah, I know. It was a little bit odd. But whatever. But thank you for your input, Tiger. I appreciate it, man. Best of luck in the future, and hopefully you can keep your progression going, and we can see you on the on the podium more often.
All right, thank you guys.
No worries. Any shout outs from the interviewees?
I just want to give a massive congratulations again to everybody on the podium and also the Tiger as well. You know, big congrats on getting that podium. It's always awesome, and hopefully that motivates you to you know, keep pushing and wanting those results.
Shout out to Rain.
Okay. Tiger?
Yeah.
Jackson wants a shout out as well, so there you go, Jackson.
There you go. Shout out to Jackson. Good stuff, guys. Thanks again for tuning in for the interview or coming in for the interview. Appreciate that. But I'm gonna put you guys out, and hopefully we'll talk to you all soon.
Yes.
All right, Shelly. It is you and I. Sprint race 1 of the Midwest F1 season 6 season is in the books in Division 1, and we'll have to see how the rest of the divisions go, but I'm sure it was just as chaotic. Baku and Austria really asked a lot of these drivers today, and I'd imagine that they did the same through the rest of the divisions. I mean, coming from a former driver such as yourself, I mean, what kind of mental roller coaster could that put you through?
Yeah, from the numerous championships I have. I'm kidding. I have one, but it's very tricky. Baku, you have to be on the limit very often, and any misstep left or right can lead you into wing damage and having to pit, and that's never fun. Austria, you really only have to worry about track limits, but with these sprint races and how short they are, time penalties really crept up on you, kind of like what we saw with Ryan Rods. So, you know, it was a very big mental ask from these guys tonight, but these D1 guys put on a show for what they could, and hey, it was entertaining to watch. Just as entertaining as chewing 5 gum.
Yeah. What was the 5's? Let your stimulate your senses. Isn't that it?
Stimulate your senses. That's just about what it is, Crash.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But yeah. I think that we'll bring an end to the stream here, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you all for stopping by and hanging out with Shelly and I and going through what was race week 2 of season 6 in the Midwest F1 League. I'll let Shelly, you can say your goodbyes and I'll bring it home.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Crash, for having me in the booth for another week. That means my job is still intact. Going on about 2 hours here. Yeah, it's every week it can wish-wash whatever way. Speaking of wish-wash, that's what my boat does when I'm fishing for red snapper in the Allegheny River, not full of chemicals at all.
Jerk snapper.
Jerk snapper, my bad. Just at the 2-hour mark from me and Crash talking about many different topics on the stream. So just shout out Crash.
Oh.
My hero.
What? Oh, shout out you, Shelly. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, no worries. Okay, well, I guess I'll bring it to an emotional end here in the Midwest F1 League Race Week 2. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, as well. Shout out to our sponsors up on your screen there, ePost, Raise Energy, and as well as Sim Racer Coin. So go check out all of that good stuff that they have to offer, and thank you again for tuning in. Hopefully we'll be seeing you very soon. As per usual, everything does get sent up on the YouTube pages, and as well as per usual, be sure to go follow all those social media outlets, that being Instagram and Twitter. Just search up Midwest F1 League, and it'll pop up right for you. And also, if that is not enough for you, go check out the website as well. Just search up Midwest F1 League on Google or any of your platforms, and it will pop right up, and you can get all the information about the league right up for your own eyes for viewing. All the links are through that as well. It'll make it easy on you. So once again, thank you. Have a good Thursday. I've been Crash McQueen. I've been once again joined by Shelly the Turtle. We've been the Midwest F1 League. Good frickin' night.